Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim out there doing the work of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, in truth, faith, and in sincerity. All right, it's Brother Taza Pie, back with another lesson with more prophecy in the news. And I have an article here, and the headline reads, Trump reportedly wants to bring back firing squads and air executions on television if reelected. And the reason why I'm highlighting this article, because this is something that Apostle Tahar, namely, had prophesied. And this was just this past week, or week before last. He prophesied out on the block and said, "Yeah, they gonna make public. That there's a possibility that they could televise the martyring of the saints, where they televise certain people, getting executed. Well, here we have an article where Trump is wanting to do just that, and what you have to understand is Republicans and Democrats, yeah, they're divided, but they're not divided on issues concerning us. They're divided because you got some that are on the take and some that kind of want to restore the luster or the glory that America once had. Now, Trump, I believe, is uh, you know, a pawn, just like the rest of these politicians. So you have to understand when you see things like this that they're all working at the end of the day and behind closed doors. They're all working toward one common goal, and that is that new world order. You don't have, uh, well, at least in that position where Trump got to POTUS, President of the United States, you don't get to that level and you're not controlled. I don't care who you are. That just don't happen. These elite, they got too many fail safes and checks and balances in place to prevent a rogue candidate from getting in and ruining their plans. But anyway, I remember Pastor Hall was saying that, how people, you know, they they probably bring back public executions and people gonna get all into it, especially if it's televised. They're gonna get their popcorn and all this and be into it. Yeah, that's another one of them Hebrew niggas. Yeah, yeah, get that nigga. They gonna be, especially for the saints. Yeah, people will get into that because this world hates us. All right, but anyway, this article is by Alex Griffin. All right, Alex Griffin, and it's dated this day, February the 14th of 2023. All right, and there go your ex POTUS right there. He's running in 2024. He announced, Donald J. Trump. All right, so it says former President Donald Trump had been widely discussing with close associates ahead of his 2024 presidential campaign, bringing back the death penalty, expanding the execution methods used by the federal government, and even broadcasting executions as a means to deter violent crime and drug dealers. Rolling Stone reported on Tuesday, citing multiple sources close to Trump. So, right, this is exactly what the apostle said. You understand? And during you would see the old Western movies where they would hang a criminal or a outlaw or a fugitive. The law would catch up to him, a peace officer, somebody catch up to him, and if they didn't shoot him, in the altercation, if the shootout, you know, cause if the, if the outlaw was a real nigga, he was gonna shoot it out. He wasn't gonna go alive. But sometimes they take them in alive and they show you how they would have public hangings. This was a major thing back in the ancient world, and not so ancient. Like I mentioned, the old West, Wild Wild West. The whole town would come see, the gold robber or the murderer get hung by the neck. They would hang him. But here Trump is talking about expanding. It says here, let's read this again. Former President Donald Trump had been widely discussing with close associates ahead of his 2024 presidential campaign, bringing back the death penalty, expanding the execution methods. All right, expanding the methods. So right now, what do they have? They don't hang anymore, but they have the lethal injections. And I believe all states have done away with the electric chair, death by electrocution. But when you say expanding methods, expanding the execution methods, well, it's a reason why it's saying that because there are already uh, laws on the books termed the Noahide laws. And the Noahide laws provide for capital punishment, in particular in the case of by way of the guillotine. All right. And that's going to be the preferred method of execution because death by guillotine preserves the bodily organs. See, execution and lethal injection both destroys the organs. But take a man's head off, nice and clean. And the apostle said they even got it automated where they don't even have to, the guillotine don't have to be manned. All right. Just computerized, you know, put them on the assembly line and send them down the line, you know. But that way, because the black market for organs or organ harvesting is so big now, they need a way to preserve or keep, the organs intact. So guillotine fits the bill perfectly. So all this is just basically them coming out and telling you what they've been planning on doing, and it appears that they're using Trump in order to do this. You understand? And whether Trump get ins or not, that's neither here nor there. But the uh, the executive orders are already on the books, ready to go. It just has to be implemented. But anyway, it goes on to say, Rolling Stones, Oswin, Sub, Subasane, and Patrick Rice, right, that Trump had been regularly asking those around him, what do you think of firing squads? The article adds that Trump has talked about bringing back death by firing squad by hanging, and according to two of the sources, possibly even by guillotine. You see, there's no. Now I didn't know this was going to be in the article, but I know where this thing is going. I know where all of this is headed because of prophecy. You know, so yeah, I mean, I saw the article or the headline, and I said, this is exactly what the apostles talk about. Now, most of the time before I do a lesson, I will proofread the article. But again, I already know this is where they was going with this. This is what they've been had this plan. So this is exactly what it means by expanding execution methods. All right, it's telling you. The article adds that Trump has talked about bringing back death by firing squad, by hanging, and according to two of the sources, possibly even by guillotine. Yeah, it will be, possibly it will be by guillotine. The guillotines are already geared up and ready to go. All right, this, see, the prophet's not here to play games with you. The prophet's here to let you know what time it is in this world. And it says, he has also, yeah, he has also, sources say, discussed group executions. You hear that? Group executions. Trump has floated these ideas while discussing planned campaign rhetoric and policy desires, as well as his disdain for President Biden's approach to crime. Right, the good cop, bad cop, or the good cop, corrupt cop. You know, they put old Sleepy Joe, the degenerate, in there, and even Democrats, diehard Democrats, have to admit that he is horrible. He is horrible. And now it's at the point where both Republicans as well as Democrats would vote for Trump right now to get this clown out of office. Well, that's the classic switching bait. Hegelian dialectic, even problem, reaction, solution. It's the classic rundown. Y'all letting these people run this game down on y'all. But yeah, this is what they want. And it says, yeah, and crime is out of control all throughout the U.S., man. But let's read on so we can get to these scriptures. It says, he has even, one of the sources recounts, mused about televising footage of executions, including showing condemned prisoners in the final moments of their lives, noted the article. Yeah, Trump, he's famous for, you're fired. So if he gets back in office, he's gonna be firing people for real, all the way on up to the spirit world. Trump had one of the most successful reality TV shows. So you can see him, we coming into this Hunger Games era where all the shit you've been seeing, the dystopian madness, the psychosis and the neurosis that they've been showing you on the TV, that you think that, this could never be real life. Well, we've crossed that threshold. We have definitely crossed that threshold to where they're talking about public execution. But then again, at the same time, as I stated, public executions that's nothing new. That's nothing new. But, being a man of the Lord, I know where all this is going, and it's all geared toward us, those who speak truth against this wicked and corrupt society. That's where all this is going. Yeah, it'd be good if you was actually, getting rid of criminals, derelicts, but no, you going after the men that's fighting and pushing for righteousness' sake. That says here, Trump's comments on the death penalty and desire for the federal government to use hangings and firing squads shouldn't come as a surprise. In August 2020, at Trump's direction of the Department of Justice, proposed a new rule allowing for the federal government to hang, electrocute, gas, all right, gas, or shoot individuals if it does not want to kill them by lethal injection, reported Slate at the time. Additionally, in Trump's last year in office, he executed more Americans than all the states combined, and the most of any president in 120 years. So how you like that? You hear that? And again, it says, additionally, in Trump's last year in office, this is in 1 year, he executed more Americans than all the states combined, and the most of any president in 120 years. The Rolling Stone article, however, reports that in a second Trump term, the former president would like to publicize those executions as much as possible. So there you have it. Okay, so for all of y'all like to talk that shit against the apostles, here is another one of the apostles' prophecies coming to pass. All right, he called it in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you know, because this is what the scriptures tell us, it's going to go down. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Now you see that? Why does it say, be thou faithful unto death? Okay, because this is talking about those FEMA death camps that, some of us brethren, for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's namesake and for his truth in defending the gospel, will be rounded up and cast into some of these FEMA death camps, which are prisons. Okay? And so here the Lord is exhorting us. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, that ain't Satan, the chief demon. That's talking about these Edomites here on the earth that are doing the bidding of the chief demon Satan. All right? These so-called white people, they are the devil that this scripture is speaking about. They are the ones that's building these penitentiaries and capitalizing on them at the expense of us Hebrew Israelites. All right? Because they making buku money, as they say, off of these jakes in this voluntary slavery. So that's what it is. When you go to the penitentiary, you're voluntarily, uh, you make yourself a voluntary slave. All right, and yeah, they make a killing off of it. You understand? This is the fucked up system that they have in place here in America. Apparently that you niggas love because y'all not getting on the side of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So that's telling the Lord that you fine with the way things are here in America or wherever you at in the world if you're not down with this truth. You have to understand, man, the Lord was manifest to destroy the works of the devil. And these FEMA death camps are just that. They are part of the works of the devil. But it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. Your faith is what's going to be tried. All right? Your your faith is going to be tried. Because the Lord through these devils gonna see if you're gonna be about the the word that you were speaking and preaching and cussing people out and rebuking and exhorting and all that. The Lord wants to see if you really down with that, or if you're gonna jump ship. But this is why it says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death. So be thou faithful unto death. Because for a number of us, that death is certain. But if you remain in your integrity in this truth, yeah, the Lord got a crown. It says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And we know the Heavenly Father is faithful. Okay? Yeah, it spoke about being tried, that ye may be tried. So we got to go here, right? Now, this is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, all right? That means all the way up until the time of your trying, okay? That means you didn't go back in the world. You were steadfast in the word of the Lord. You was consistent in the word of the Lord until the day, let's just say you got thrown in a concentration camp and tried. You know, and you got that tribulation for 10 days. Well, for the ones that keep the Lord's word, this is what it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. All right. That hour of temptation is you being tried. Because the Lord is gonna see if you really about what you was preaching. He gonna have this Edomite roll down on us to see if we really about this life. And let me tell you, if the devil do roll down on you, stand strong in your faith. All right. And then the Lord is going to fight for us. This is what it's saying. He's going to keep us from the hour of temptation. We're going to have to deal with it, but he's going to give us a spirit to resist, a spirit to stand, a spirit to look these devils in their cold blue eyes and stand strong for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You know, the Lord is going to put a spirit on brothers to help brothers get through. You understand? We're not going to have to walk through this or go through this alone. We just need to stand on the faith that we've been professing. And the Lord is going to see us through. This is what he's saying. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. You see? The Lord's going to fight for his servants, man. This is what it says here, Revelation 6 and 9. It says, and when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High, and for the testimony which they held. You see? So you're gonna have some men that's gonna give up the ghost for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's sake. And this is what this is saying. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High, and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? Okay? So it's gonna be men that's gonna, have to meet their demise at the hands of this goddamn devil. But that's the beginning. That's not the end. And this is what we have to keep in mind. Us dying is the beginning. It's not the end of it. The end game for Israel is rest, all right? Glory and power, rulership. But this is Esau's end. And through his campaign of fear, he's gonna get some to waver. He's gonna get something to doubt. Yeah, don't waver and don't doubt. The Lord is faithful and true who promised. So stand on those promises. Now, Revelation 20, verse 4, it says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, right, the children of Israel. This is when the kingdom is set. Is that Psalm 122? It said, there are set thrones of judgment. I want to say Psalm 122. I'm not 100% sure on that. But that's what that's talking about, the thrones. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Psalm 122, verse 5. For there are set thrones of judgment, is what we just read in Revelation. The thrones of the house of David. So this is what we're talking about in Revelation. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. So now when we go back, it says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, right? The thrones of the house of David. which is of all 12 tribes of Israel. All right. So that's what that's speaking of. It says, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. You see, how they gonna be beheaded? By unrighteous decree or unrighteous decrees, and by way of guillotine through, well, unrighteous decrees by the way of the Noahide laws, which makes death by guillotine legal. All right. So this is the beheading part. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And this is why they got beheaded, because they wasn't down with the BS. They wasn't going to give consent to the wickedness of this world. They wasn't going to cave in to the madness. So they didn't take this mark. They didn't receive and say they had not worshipped the beast, neither his image. All right, the beast is the current uh, ruling structure between NATO, the EU, and America. All right, they make up that beast. So we're not going to worship this beast. It says, neither his image, because it's ruling in the likeness of ancient Rome. We ain't down with that shit. And it said, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. Now, that mark, which is the mark of the beast, this beast, NATO, the EU, and America, is the whore that sitteth upon the scarlet colored beast, in reference to Revelation, the 17th chapter. All right. So that power structure consists of them. Um, we're not going to receive that mark, which is a digital mark, a digital ID, digital identification mark, which will have your medical records, your financial info, and whatever else that pertains to you, biometric data, and all the other data that you go through in life. Heartbeat per minute, uh, how far you traveled that day, how many steps you took, how many miles you done traveled. All that is on your mark. All right, all that's on your mark. Now the Lord forbids us as Hebrew Israelites to take that mark because we belong to Him. That mark is a mark of ownership. All right, and it comes from the Greek word charagma. And when you go to the root of charagma, you'll come across the word karax. And karax is where you get to stick or a pricking, you know, and what that's about. When you go into the charagma, is basically something implanted, stamped, or inserted, and that's what they wish to do with this micro CHIP, is to insert it either in your right hand or in your forehead, which I believe they're gonna be doing both, or they want to get to a point where they can do both, you know, with Musk, Elon Musk Neuralink. All right, that's a basically a link for your mind, for your brain to go into the internet of bodies. That's what they call it, the internet of bodies. But anyway, yeah, see all these things they got on the books and ready to go. This is what we're going to have to resist. This is what we're going to have to stand up to, because as you see, as men, we have a great reward for standing up to this stuff. So I'm gonna read this again. This is the reward. It says, And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. Right? They're going to be given rulership of the world. This is what this is talking about. All right? All Israel going to sit on thrones and judge. Rulership is going to be, or judgment is going to be given unto us. That's part of the new covenant, because that judgment is coming from the law. We ain't judging out of anything different than the law. But the Lord is going to give us judgment by way of putting in laws in our inward parts. It says, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai by way of guillotine. Trump wants to make this public. It said, for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, the likeness of ancient Rome, the beast before it. It says, neither had received his mark, the microchip, all right, upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years, right? So the Lord is going to take this thing over, man, for 1,000 years. You know, now our kingdom is going to be an eternal kingdom. We're going to rule forever. You understand? But that 1,000 years, Yahweh Shai is going to personally see that things get set up the right way. And then once we get things going and established, you know, we're going to give rulership to the other nations that they can rule their own nations and tribes by way of the law. See, that first 1,000 years is going to be an establishing of the law. And that's why scriptures like in Psalms 2 say how we're going to rule them with a rod of iron, right, for correction in the law. And then, yeah, because the Lord ain't going nowhere. I don't want you to get that misunderstood. It's just that it's going to be a hard, rigorous 1,000 years where we're going to be putting foot down on this law. And then the other nations going to be allowed to govern themselves. But, you know, that's that. What the prophet said is shit. We see it about to come to pass. You see, and that's the sign of a prophet. To prophesy means to say before. So, you know, hey, much love to the apostles. Again, you know, all praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to you brethren out there, man, that's doing the work. All right. To the next one, Shalom.